Do you feel like people hate fat people?
Oh yeah, straight up. And
have you ever felt like just like pure like animosity from people that you didn't know?
Absolutely. And I mean, not just like, I mean, there's like plenty of internet people, but if you're on the internet, you get used to getting hated, right?
Yeah.
But there are people in real life. I went to a Walgreens in the middle of the night one night, and I was like fighting off a cold. So I got like some orange juice, and I got some cold medicine, and I got a chocolate bar. And I tell the guy, I'm like, hey man, how you doing tonight? He's like, I'm doing all right. It's a tough night. I'm like, yeah, I'm sick as shit. And he goes, yeah, a lot of people are right now. Some of them not by choice. And he said that as he's ringing up my candy bar. And I'm like, fuck you, dude. Like, fuck you. I have the fucking flu. You can't tell me. Like, fuck you.
Did you say anything?
Yeah. Like, I was like, hey, that's cool, man. So can I talk to your manager? And he's like, oh, for what? I'm like, you know what? I'll wait till I get home. I'll call him. And I called the manager, and the manager took that guy's side. He's like, sir, you are very obese. And I'm like, that's not how I expected this to go. So I guess I'll just hang up.
That's crazy.
All right. You know, I one time I was in Memphis, Tennessee, and it's right after that feeder I was dating was convinced me that it would be okay. Like, I can't shop at Walmart, dear, but I want you to go to the Walmart with me. They have motorized scooters. You need to use them. I can't physically. I don't even know if I can be comfortable in those things. I don't know if they can carry me. Let's try it. This is my second time ever trying one of these things, and a guy gets behind me, and he's got like his shitty old flip phone from 2005, but he's like following me behind, and he's filming me.
Really?
And he's
That's
like,
so
look
fun.
at this big motherfucker. Look at how I've never seen nobody this big. Look how big this motherfucker is.
That's so fucked.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow,
Come
that's
on.
crazy, right?
It's like, dude.
But I get it to some extent because you perceive it as gluttony. And you perceive it as selfishness, and you perceive it as laziness, and you perceive it as
Because
like
they don't-
all these terrible negative traits.
They don't relate at all
Right.
to what you're actually
Right. You don't
experiencing.
perceive it as coping.
When they
you
gain
don't-
weight, it's because they let themselves go for a week.
People don't perceive it as coping. They don't perceive it as dealing with a molestation. They don't perceive it as addiction. They don't perceive it as that, right? And that's true of homeless people. A lot of people find homeless people contemptible. You know, but you look at
true.
some of the numbers,
Yeah.
and they say that, you know, actual homeless people, not necessarily, you know, your guy on the street corner with a cell phone in his hand, you know, but like the actual people in New York who sleep in a fucking gutter, most of them have mental illness.
Of course.
But we think of them as disgusting, dirty people. And that's the thing. A lot of people just not very good at empathy. I'm not that great at it, honestly, so I can't blame them. It's tough. You know, it's hard to think about anybody outside of ourselves. But I think if you really ever sat down and talk to a person of size, you'll understand where they're coming from. And there's plenty of people out there doing me a great fucking disservice by like all this health at any size shit. Fuck you. Like, seriously, fuck you.
Well, these are like predominantly like plus size models who are like, don't tell me like that being fat is unhealthy, or they'll say stuff like that, or that being fat is beautiful or whatever, or overweight.
And there are people out there who find fat very beautiful, and that's great. And you're right, you are beautiful to some extent, and you're still another person, and that is beautiful, and that's all great. But understand that what you're doing is absurdly unhealthy.
I find, yeah.
And that you're damaging your organs, you're damaging your bones, you're going to suffer tremendously in your late 30s and early 40s, and you'll be dead by 50. So
The whole healthy at every size, well, it's like almost oxymoronic, like healthy at every size.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's just not a thing. It's just not a thing. And I'm sorry.
Do they really believe that?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think there's a certain amount of self-delusion you have to go through to be a certain size and to do that stuff, and maybe there is some level of that. I'm all for body positivity to some extent. I'm all for it.
Well, there's a difference between being like, I'm healthy at 400 pounds and like, please don't film me.
Right. And they're like, if you're 500 pounds and you're like, you know what, I want to change, but I don't hate myself. I think that's very positive, right?
Yeah.
But if you're 500 pounds, you're like, I love being 500 pounds, and 500 pounds is who and what I want to be, and I don't give a shit about the health ramifications. I don't give a shit about the fact that I'm dying. I don't give a shit about it. That's not healthy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You're being crazy. Stop.
Yeah.
You know. So I don't know. It's tough, man. It's fine. Most people are empathetic. Most people are kind. You got to concentrate on the healthy people, and especially as a YouTuber or anything you do in life, at your job, at whatever, you know, at school, whatever you're dealing with. There's gonna be plenty of people in this world who don't like you.
Oh yeah.
And the mass majority of people will never know who the fuck you are or give a shit.
Yeah.
There's going to be a small number of people in this world that give a shit about you. You got to concentrate on the people who give a shit about you. That's the only people that matter, right? If somebody fucking despises you or hates you or fucking whatever, they don't like the way you do your job, they don't like the way you create content, they don't like you as a person, there's a family member that doesn't like them, fuck them. It's their problem. Deal with it. Deal with your fucking problem. It's not mine. I'm going to be me,
Yeah.
and I'm going to love the people who love me
That's great.
and eat shit.
And eat shit.
Eat shit if you don't like it.